that this chapter, this material is the hardest because people aren't used to actually looking at a molecule and figuring out what's going on there, and recognizing these patterns so that you can actually tell whether it's a carbohydrate or a lipid or a protein. And so, kind of the very first thing we want to get a handle on is what this is. Because I'll be drawing these type of things throughout the semester to explain what's going on biologically. Because it all comes back down to the molecules that are interacting. So this is a molecule. And it's a little bigger than a water molecule, which only has 3 atoms. This one has, can you tell me how many atoms it has? Six atoms. You've got one we'll call out for 6. Three atoms. Number of atoms in this molecule. 19. We're actually getting closer.
24.
There's 24 atoms. How many? What did you?
I think I thought you meant
how many different ones? So there were 3 different ones. There's a total of 24 atoms in this molecule. Each capital letter here represents an atom. Oh, sure. So each capital letter is an atom. Now some of your elements you'll notice over there, like lithium, has 2 letters, but the first letter is a capital letter, and the second letter is a lowercase letter, so that's just one atom. And these are all the single letter atoms, it makes it easier. There are 3 different kinds of atoms in this molecule. What are they? There's carbon, which are the C's. How many of them are there? There's 6. And what's another one? Hydrogen? Which are all of the H's. And there's 12 of those. And then there's oxygen. And those are all the O's. So right away, just looking at this molecule, you can tell how many atoms there are and what kinds of elements those atoms belong to. Boy, that red doesn't show up over here at all, does it? No. I think you let it close background. So hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon. This molecule, once you know that, you can look at a molecule and you can tell its molecular formula. The formula is how many of each type of atom there is in the molecule. And in this molecule, we've got 6 carbons, 12 hydrogens, and 6 oxygens, or C6H12O6. Which when you hear that formula, this is like H2O and C6H12O6 are the 2 formulas that you probably just know. If you're going anywhere in a biology field or related, dependent on biology field, everybody know what this molecule is? This is glucose. Which is the primary energy type of sugar that almost all living organisms use. So even though it's 13 grams of carbs, so I wonder what they are. Mostly crystalline fructose, which is probably closer to related to all that high corn fructose syrup we ingest. Even though the that sugar starts out as fructose, it's going to get converted to glucose or derivatives of glucose before you actually break it down and metabolize it. So glucose is very important, but it's also a really good example of a molecule. Now, what are those dashes in this molecule? Those are the bonds. These are the chemical bonds. So, all of these dashes in here are chemical bonds. Those represent where those electrons are bringing those two atoms together. What kind of bond? Covalent bond. Now, most biological molecules, well, all of them have carbon. So all biological molecules have carbon. That's really the definition of a biological molecule, or an organic molecule. It's going to contain carbon. A lot of them are chains of carbons. And so this is a good example of a chain of carbons. When we look at biological molecules, we're really kind of interested in, okay, what's the arrangement of those carbons and what kind of things are attached to those carbons. In this molecule, there's actually two groupings that are attached to this carbon chain. There is this OH again, which we seem to talk a lot about. And then our other grouping, notice that I colored it up for you here, is this C double bonded to an oxygen and then hydrogen on the other side. The grouping of atoms that are attached to that carbon chain are called functional groups. And in your book, on page 36, is a nice table that summarizes some of the very common functional groups that we see in a biological molecule.